Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is the 6th episode in the story, in which Naruto discovers that not everything in life is black and white. Especially when you discover you are a demigod. Naruto did something unexpected and startling. At times semi-dark, with a hint of the wild side. Please hit the subscribe and like buttons. Let's get this party started. Once Naruto and Kakashi got back to Tazuna House, Sasuke said, "I see you got your sword, Dobi." Naruto said, "Yeah, the mizukage had her." Both Sasuke and Sakura blinked and looked to Kakashi, who said, "Yeah, it seems our three friends turned out to be the Godai Mizukage herself, as well as a member of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist and a member of Kiri Hunter Nin Division." Sasuke said, "So they're here to kill Zabuza?" Naruto said, "No. They are here to ask him to return since the Bloodline Civil War is over and the Bloodline side won." Kakashi, who was leaning against the wall, said, "Now I have got to ask something, Naruto. How in the hell did you do that back there?" Sakura asked, "Do what?" Naruto looked sheepish and said, "Nothing." Kakashi said, "Naruto, even I don't think I could have done that. Hell, I don't think even Jiraiya could have done that." Naruto looked in thought and said, "True." Sasuke said, "So what did you do, Dobi, that shocks Kakashi-sensei so much?" Naruto said, "Stole my sword out of the back of the Mizukage dress," Kakashi said, "as well as stole her panties she was wearing." Everyone blinked and Sasuke snorts and said, "That's a good one, sensei, Dobe. But seriously, what did you do?" As he saw Naruto holding the thong up, causing Tsunami and Sakura to go beet red, as Kakashi gave a perverted giggle. Naruto said, "She told me to keep them as a reminder of her, until she comes to Konoha. I got the feeling she's going to try and rape my ass then." As he put them back in his pocket, Sakura screamed, "Pervert!" as she went to punch him when he grabbed her fist and spun her around, causing her to lock her own arm around her stomach like a lover's embrace with his arm around her also, and he whispered in her ear, "I'm only a pervert if I do something that is not liked by the person I am doing it to. If a woman is willing to permit something like that happening by a guy, then she must find him and his actions somewhat desirable, just like the fact you're frozen in place and red-faced while you screamed pervert and tried to attack me. You froze when we got in this position because you may not like me in other ways. You do find the embrace of being held so intimately by me desirable, Sakurakin." Saying the last part with lust in his voice before he slowly slid his hand across her arm that was across her stomach, causing the chills on her spine to go to her arms. Sakura blushed and looked away, and Naruto said, "Normally, anyways, to answer your question, when I replaced myself with a Kagebunshin and used my invisibility to get behind her and the other two, I saw the handle of desire barely sticking out of her dress top through her hair. Her hair had chakra running through it, so she uses it for some kind of attack, I believe, so I knew I couldn't touch her hair and get away without serious harm, so what I did was created my two Kagebunshin that I had created and held a kunai at the necks of the guys to use replacement, trying to grab my sword while dispelling at the same moment so they never touched her. When I did that, one had successfully grabbed my sword while the other accidentally switched with her panties instead, and I used the smoke screen from the Kagebunshin to grab them before I revealed myself." Kakashi said, "But why replace yourself with something that low instead of at the top where the handle was?" Naruto said, "Because if my clone missed, then I would really have been up shit creek for replacing with her dress. Besides, I didn't know what kind of reaction her hair would have had if it came in contact with my chakra. Anko told me Jiraiya got this crazy jutsu that turns his hair hard as steel and spiky that can cover his entire body. I didn't know if she also knowed this or something else. Whichever case, I didn't feel safe coming in contact with her hair in any way, shape, or form." Sasuke asked, "So what happened now?" Kakashi said, "At noon we are meeting with the other workers at the bridge since the concrete should be hard by then. Tomorrow the Mizukage is going to come to the bridge and give us a scroll to deliver to Zabuza. It's part of a deal Naruto made with her, so if you want to know, ask him. After that we are going to stay here until the bridge is completed so I can train you as a team finally, since Naruto's skills are ahead of both of you but not where I would like them to be." Sasuke sighed and said, "As much as I hate to admit it, I know you're right. So what are our skills at?" Naruto said, "How about we do a quick rundown, name something to see if we know it, and if one of us don't, then we get that person caught up with the others." "Agreed," Kakashi said. "Sounds good." "Tree walking, good, you all three know." "How long can you do it?" Sakura said, "I can make it up and down 6 times before stopping to rest." Sasuke said, "About 2 hours." Naruto said, "Don't ask. I just gave up trying to get tired after 12 hours with Kagebunshins." Kakashi said, "Alright, water walking." Naruto and Sasuke both said yes, and Kakashi said, "Alright, how long can you do them?" Sasuke said 30 minutes, Naruto said 12 hours again with Kagebunshins. Kakashi sweat dropped and said, "Well, then we need to increase Sasuke and Sakura chakra reserves and stamina, as well as teach Sakura water walking." Do you have anything you could work on while water walking, Naruto?" Naruto said, "Maybe, Anko-sensei had me working on my earth and water manipulation by pulling one or the other out of mud, and she had me cutting a leaf to learn my wind manipulation. I've gotten better, but it's still a bitch, as I know I am still wasting too much chakra and don't have the proper control on those, even though my chakra control itself is mid-chunin. I could try to mold the water while standing on it to see if I can get it to react similar to my bloodline does, but I'm not sure how. Kakashi looked in thought and said, alright, here is what we are going to do. Once Sakura learns water walking, she will join in this. Naruto, you're going to stand 100 yards away from the bridge out on the water. I know a minor drank jutsu that is used to put out campfires. It's nothing much in its basic form, but if you can learn to control it, you could increase your natural elemental affinity to water to high chunin level. I will show you all three this jutsu, as you will have to eventually learn it. It's only one hand sign. As he showed the sign, Kakashi said it's called water spout no jutsu. What you do is focus your chakra in this seal and control the water to mold it into a stream like a water hose. I want you to learn to use it, and Sasuke will run from the top of the bridge down the support beam out to you, and he will try and touch you. Once he does, he has to return to the top of the bridge and he gets 1 point. When Sakura can water walk, she will do the same. You will use the water spout to try and hit Sasuke and later Sakura with it before they get to you. If you hit them, then they have to run back up to the top of the bridge and start again. First one to get to you 100 times wins. If Sasuke makes it to you 100 times, then he gets the chance to stand out there while you run up and down while he tries to hit you with the water spout no jutsu. Then if Sakura can get you or Sasuke 100 times, then she will learn the jutsu. I want to get to the point where all three of you could do this exercise, with each one of you taking shots at the other two with the water spout before we return to Konoha. If you do, then you will be low chunin on chakra control, reserves, and stamina, while also gaining some water manipulation skills. Naruto said it's designed like a game. Kakashi said because it used to be a game that was played in the academy back during the Third Ninja War. Naruto said, alright, that sounds good, but do you mind if I use my Kagebunshin to do it also? That way when Sakura learns water walking, we could use team tactics to have my Kagebunshin help them, which gives all three of us a chance to work on teamwork. Kakashi said that's a very good idea. We will begin this today when we get to the bridge in about 2 hours. Until then, everyone rest and prepare. As he pulled out his Icha Paradise book and sat down. Naruto sat down in a lotus position and pulled Desire out and set her on his legs and closed his eyes and began to meditate. He soon felt all light leave and he opened his eyes and found himself in a void of darkness and said, "What the hell?" Desire said, "Hello Naruto." In a neutral tone. Naruto said, "Desire, I'm sorry I left you. I didn't mean to. I've been trying to call you ever since I woke up, and then when I got you back." Desire said, "I know, and I am not mad about that. I am mad at the fact that you used me as you did. When you fought those men, you forgot all your form and training and swung me around like an untrained idiot. I take pride in the body I have now, and you treated my body with so much disrespect in that fight that it hurt me." Naruto said, "But I was trying to defend myself." Desire said, "No, you weren't. You were swinging me around like a useless piece of trash. As punishment, you are going to train to use me. When your teammates are resting, you will summon 100 Kagebunshin and you will not attack a single one. You will only react to their attacks. No ninjutsu or chakra besides the Kagebunshin you created in water walking, so no replacement and no counter jutsu. You will do that until every break, until I tell you otherwise, to earn back my respect. Do you understand? If not, then I will shut up and ignore you." Naruto paled and said, "No, please, I didn't mean to hurt you. I need you, Desire." Desire said, "Then treat me with love and respect like you do others you love and respect. I may not have a human body, but I do have feelings and thoughts of my own." Naruto closed his eyes and said, "I'm sorry." Sakura said, "Sorry for what, Naruto?" Causing him to blink and said, "Huh?" Sakura, who was slightly bent over where she had touched Naruto's shoulder, said, "You said you were sorry. You've been mediating for a while and it's time to go to the bridge." Naruto, who could see down her shirt, raised his eyes up to meet hers and said, "Oh, thanks Sakura. I guess I just had something on my mind." Sakura nods and turns and walked away, and Naruto thought as he watched her walk away, since when has Sakura started to do that around me? She could give Ino a run for her money swaying her hips like that. Oh god, why the hell am I becoming so much of a pervert? His only answer was hearing Desire's laugh in his head. Naruto walked into the kitchen and walked over and grabbed a glass and got him some water out of the sink, and he tensed as he felt a pair of arms encircle him and he heard Tsunami's voice in his ear, "Thank you." As she laid her head on his shoulder, Naruto swallowed and turned his head and looked at Tsunami, who had tears on her face, and he turned to where he was looking at her face to face, and he put his hand under her chin and said, "I promised I would make sure those men could never hurt you. I always keep my promise. As he looked into her eyes and Tsunami bit her lip before she dived forward and smashed her lips to his. Naruto began to kiss back, giving her as much passion as he could in the kiss as he pulled her close and Tsunami wrapped her arms around him and both had their hands began to move across the other's body when Sasuke was heard from the next room. Hurry up Tobi, we're leaving. Naruto sighed and said I'm coming. How about we continue this tonight after I get back? In a whisper. Tsunami smiled and said I'd like that. Naruto smiled and began to walk away when he felt his ass pinched and he smirked as he looked over his shoulder and said payback's a bitch. Tsunami after he was gone put both her hands to her cheeks and said oh my. As she smiled slightly. When Naruto got to the other room Kakashi looked at Naruto and blinked before looking at the kitchen and said I didn't think red was your color Naruto. Naruto said what do you mean? Kakashi giggled as he began to walk away ignoring Naruto's question and Naruto frowned before he walked out with Sasuke, Sakura, and Tezuna. When they got to the bridge Kakashi said alright Sakura, go down to the shore below and send chakra to your feet. Too much you blow off, not enough and you will sink. Start shallow and don't overdo it. Naruto, Sasuke, you already have your directions, go. Naruto quickly jumped over the rail and flipped to land on his feet before dashing 100 yards away from the bridge. Sasuke took a few moments to run down the supports of the bridge and then made it to Naruto in only 4 minutes as he lost control at high speeds and slowed down to compensate. Naruto himself, having tried the hand sign and having a little knowledge of water manipulation, was able to make water rise 6 inches before losing control. By the time Sasuke made it back to the bridge after the first time he was sweating a little. Sakura, who was trying to keep herself on top of 2 inches of water, had the thought that entered both Sasuke and Naruto's mind: this is going to be hard. That evening when they returned to Tezuna's house Naruto was carrying Sakura bridal style as she was passed out and Sasuke was just barely supporting himself and staying awake. Naruto took Sakura to her room and heard the door to the room he was sharing with Sasuke close and he walked back down the stairs and said I hope you don't mind Tsunami but could we put Sasuke and Sakura meals in the fridge? Tsunami nods and said sure Naruto-kun. Anything for you. Kakashi said you know, red is such a lovely color for you Tsunami. Causing Naruto to scowl and Tezuna said what are your intentions toward my daughter kid? Naruto said my intentions toward Tsunami is between her and me and not a couple of over-the-hill perverts. Kakashi said I have you know that I am only 30. Naruto said that's over the hill for a shinobi. Kakashi said you say something. Naruto sat down at the table and frowned as he saw some vegetables that looked bad and he said Kakashi-sensei, I won't be able to work on the bridge tomorrow. Causing everyone to look at him. Kakashi, who had his book out, lowered it and asked why. Naruto said it's time I practice my Makuten bloodline. I'll be near the bridge so I can meet the mizukage but I won't be actually working with the others. I need to see if I can help the people here by growing some food. Kakashi said alright. I guess I can just have Sasuke and Sakura working on physical exercise since they ran really low on chakra today. Naruto nods and Inari came down and said Mom, why are you wearing that dress? You haven't worn it since Kaiza was killed. Tsunami bit her lip and Naruto said, because it's time for a change kid since Wave is now free. Your mom just trying to show that she's happy to have a chance at a new life. Right. Tsunami blushed and said yes. Inari sat down and said but why are you guys still here if Gato and his men are dead? Kakashi said because we were hired to protect your grandpa. Naruto said you know, I was saving this for a special occasion but I think we should honestly celebrate the fact that we actually freed this country from Gato. As he unsealed a scroll and unsealed a bottle of ambrosia, Tezuna said but you just got that bottle back in that town. Naruto said and you remember how after I heard they got the bottle I quickly accepted it. This is ambrosia, the drink of the gods. Kings would give away their entire kingdom for just a sip. Tsunami, can you get us 5 glasses? Tsunami said 5. Inari too young to drink alcohol. Naruto said Tsunami, I ask you to trust me, this is most likely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I will only give him just a sip but he deserves a chance to have 1 sip of this legendary drink. Tsunami frowned but got up and Kakashi said is that really the drink of the gods? Naruto said yep. As he pulled on the cork and it opened and Naruto turned and poured a half glass to Kakashi, Tsunami, Tezuna and a small sip to Inari before he poured a full glass for himself and recorked the bottle. Tezuna said I never seen gold alcohol before. Naruto said because there is no other like it. Take a sip. As he took a drink and smiled. Kakashi reached for it and turned and took a sip and froze before he turned and said this is the best drink I have ever had. It like the best food and drink in the world put together. Tsunami slowly took the glass and took a sip before her entire body shook and her eyes fluttered and Inari said Mom, are you okay? Tsunami said yes son, it's okay. I'll let you just this once. It truly is the drink of the gods. As she took another sip and savored the taste, Inari took the small shot he had and drank it all in one gulp, and his eyes fluttered and said, "Oh wow. This is better than chocolate." With a shit-eating grin on his face, Naruto said, "Told you. Now go ahead and get to bed, kid." Inari didn't argue and got up and left while wobbling a little. Kakashi said, "Can I get another sip?" Naruto said, Sorry Kakashi-sensei. I don't know if I will ever get a chance to get another bottle, so I'm saving the rest for a special occasion." Kakashi pouted and said, "Spoil sport. I think I'll go to bed and dream of drinking more of that someday." As he got up and left, Naruto looked at Tazuna, who was passed out, and then to Tsunami, who looked extremely content, and Naruto grabbed her hand softly while creating a couple of clones who started to clean, and Naruto led Tsunami to her room as she rested her head on his shoulder. The next morning when Naruto awoke, he looked at the face of Tsunami, who was asleep, and then he looked at his hand and saw the ring still there and thought, "I made the right choice. I care for her as much as I care for Shizune from just the little bit I know her, but I couldn't just abandon her with a child. Maybe someday I can come back for her, but for now I'll just be content with the friends with benefits." Tsunami began to stir as she arched her back, pushing her bare chest into Naruto, and she slowly opened her eyes and said, "Morning, Koi." Naruto smiled and said, "Morning, Haim, how are you?" Tsunami moaned as she said, "Sore, I haven't done that in so long that I forgot how it felt, thank you." Naruto said, "That's my line, you're beautiful." Tsunami shook her head and said, "I'm an over-the-hill MILF." Naruto put his hand under her chin and said, "Never sell yourself short, Tsunami. If I could, I would stay here with you forever." Tsunami closed her eyes and said, "I know, you don't know how much you mean to me. You took away all my fear and pain, longing, and suffering, and replaced it with happiness, hope, and love. I know you can't stay. I knew all along, and I wanted to keep myself from getting hurt, but I couldn't help but fall for you." As she laid her head on his chest and a tear fell, Naruto closed his eyes and said, "Do you know why we die?" Tsunami bit her lip and Naruto said, "It's so we can learn about the pain of losing those who are close to us, so that when we die and join them we don't forget the pain of losing them and can treasure them for all eternity. Someday you will meet Inari father and Keiza again in the afterlife, along with your mother and all the others you lost over the years. You care for me, but I would be a replacement for the ones you have already lost. I'm a ninja, any day I could go on a mission and not return. I didn't want to hurt you, but I couldn't stand back and see you continue to hurt like you were, so I had to do something. And in the end I caused you more pain and suffering." Tsunami sat up and said, "No, even if all I could be with you is a day, it would be an eternity in heaven to me. Never think you are a cause of pain and suffering. You're like that ambrosia, a gift from the gods that is so rare I may never drink of again. But I am honored to have had a chance to hold you in my heart." Naruto sat up, pulling Tsunami against him, and he looked into her eyes and after a moment said, "I can't right now, but someday I will do all I can to make you happy, Tsunami." Tsunami smiled and said, "You have already." As she kissed him before pushing him back on the bed and straddled him as she bent down to kiss him passionately. Sasuke walked by Tsunami's bedroom door a few minutes later and heard the sound of springs squeaking, and his eyes went wide and said, "Damn it, Tobi. I swear you're going to get killed one of these days." As he walked down the stairs, in the room next to Tsunami, Sakura, who had bloodshot eyes, thought, "Will they give it a rest? I wonder if it's Sasuke, Kakashi-sensei, or Naruto though." Kakashi knocked on Sakura's door and said, "We're leaving in half an hour, Sakura." "Sasuke and I have already had the shower," Sakura said. "Okay." And thought Naruto. Before a muffled moan of Naruto was heard through the wall, causing Sakura to blush. When Naruto got to the bridge, it was 3 hours after the others, and Mei, who was sitting with her arms crossed, glared at Naruto and said, "Did you forget you had an important meeting with me?" Naruto said, "No, but it would have been wrong of me to just up and abandon a woman in need. You could have also given the scroll to Kakashi-sensei and left if you were really in a hurry, unless there was something you were needing to discuss privately." As he winked at her, Mei said, "Be careful, Naruto-kun. Some women like to keep their toys locked away." Naruto said, "But those toys gather dust from not being used. The best ones are the ones you're not afraid to display, since they're your pride and joy." Mei smirked and said, "You are an amusing person. I look forward to seeing how much fun you can be." Naruto said, "I aim to please." Mei pulled out 3 scrolls and said, "This scroll is for the Hokage and village of Konoha, this is for Zabuza, and this is for you. I hate to say it, but I must be returning to my village, but I will be seeing you at the Chunin exams." Naruto said, looking forward to it. Mei swayed her hips as she walked away before shining out of sight. Naruto thought, "Woman." In Konoha, Tsunade sighed as she signed another paper and thought, "Damn it. That brat is getting an ass-kicking when I see him. Not only did him and his entire team ignore my orders to return, had Sensei ordered me to leave them alone and embraced my reputation, but he left me with an apprentice who is suffering from morning sickness. That's the third time I signed that same order after she puked on the other 2 stacks. I'm cutting off his, the Uchiha, and Kakashi peckers. Back in Wave, Naruto looked at his clones that had turned the road into rows of vegetables and fruit before he turned to a small snake and said, "So do you think you can do it?" The snake said, "Yes master." Naruto said, "Then go, but please make sure that you give that scroll to Zabuza or Haku and only them." The snake nods and slithers down in the water and swims away. Naruto thought now it's time to train. It had been a month since the day Naruto sent a message to Zabuza and Haku. During that month Sasuke and Sakura both were able to get to the point they could last for 3 hours on the water without needing a break. They got a little experience with water manipulation with the water sprout no jutsu, but they were nowhere near the level Naruto took that jutsu. Kakashi looked over the rail of the now completed bridge and said, "I can't believe he was able to progress that far with so simple of instructions." Beside him Sakura said, "Kakashi-sensei, I know you and Naruto have told us that Kagebunshin transfer back their knowledge when dispelled, but Naruto can make godlike numbers of them thanks to his bloodline making so much chakra over the years, but, is that really even possible what we are seeing? I mean, could it be another bloodline besides his normal two?" Sasuke, who had his Sharingan spinning, looked down below and said, "It's all him Sakura. It's not a bloodline because I can copy it with my Sharingan, but I have nowhere near the level of control or chakra to pull off what he is doing. Hell, I don't think Kakashi-sensei or Itachi could do what Naruto is doing." Kakashi said, "No, I don't think anyone below a cage could. Naruto is in the middle of a 100 feet wide whirlpool that he has created by molding hundreds of chakra sprouts at a time. He doesn't even need the hand sign now. He's had 200 Kagebunshin working on the water sprout no jutsu while you both tried to get to 100 times, and then when you needed a break him and his clones then would have a kenjutsu battle where he would destroy them while completely on the defensive." Sasuke said, "That's what scares me and excites me at the same time. Naruto learned to use his sword to deflect an enemy attack into another enemy. I guess nearly being killed when he got surrounded made him want to ensure that he's never placed in that situation again." Sakura asked, "So since you have been using your Sharingan to watch him when he spars, are you going to take up using Kenjutsu also?" Sasuke was quite a few moments and said, "Before we started this mission, if you asked me that, I would have said yes, but I've seen how much blood and sweat Naruto has put into his training." I then remember his words about knowing 1000 jutsu and mastering a jutsu. Naruto has a learning curve thanks to his Kagebunshin that is nearly as good as my Sharingan, and he could learn 1000 jutsu quickly. He's got a lot that he could have learned while here, but he didn't. He spends 1 day a week working on his bloodline, 1 earth, 1 wind, and 1 water jutsu, with each jutsu being worked on by 100 Kagebunshin. He trains physically by carrying buckets of fruits and vegetables to as many people as he can while running on that day with the food his clones had grown. The rest of the time he's been training with us on this one exercise while also having his Kagebunshin training it. It's humbling, honestly. It's like he going directly against the things I took for granted that I was entitled to for having the Sharingan." Kakashi said he's also worked with his summoning a little. He's been meeting his snake summons one by one and learning their names and what their abilities are and adjusting his chakra amounts to proper levels for the summon he wants. Sakura said, "I'm just glad he asked you for a privacy jutsu to put up on Tsunami Room. I don't know how long I could have lasted hearing them in the next room." "Kakashi-sensei, what if Tsunami gets pregnant?" Naruto startled her as he came over the bridge rail and said, "That won't happen, Sakura." Sakura turned and said, "I know you probably used a birth control jutsu, Naruto, but there is always a chance that it will fail." Naruto shook his head and said, "No, you see, my bloodline makes me 100% fertile, Sakura. If I sleep with someone there is 100% chance she will become pregnant, unless..." Stopping Naruto before she could say something. Naruto said, "Unless I have this on." As he held up his hand and showed the ring. Sasuke asked, "What's with the ring, Dobi?" Naruto said, "It's a gift. It protects my bloodline completely. If someone took my blood, sperm, bone, hair, or anything else while I had this ring on, then they would find all the samples were completely useless. This ring also can't slip off or be pulled off no matter how much force someone tries. It can only be removed if I chose to remove it, and it's also make it where there is 100% chance that any woman I sleep with won't get pregnant." Sasuke looked at the ring in shock and said, "Is there any way you could get another of those rings for me?" Naruto said, "I honestly don't know, Sasuke. I doubt it since this was designed specifically for me. It can't be stolen or forgotten as it will summon itself back to me if it gets past so many feet from me, and like I said, it can't be taken off or cut off. If someone cuts off my hand, the ring's effects still are in effect on my body. It also can't be used by anyone else. I had Ino try and put it on." The ring propelled her hand away from it, making it impossible for her to put it on. Sasuke said, So are you done with your little experiment?" As he looked over the rail, Naruto looked back at the ocean, seeing the whirlpool spinning, and said, "Yeah, I think that will work, but only time will tell." Sakura asked, "Why did you create a whirlpool there, and how did you get Tazuna to agree to it?" Naruto said, "There's a chance that a ship or something could damage the bridge someday by going under it, so I told Tazuna I wanted to try and see if I could make a whirlpool near the bridge to help pull debris from the bridge and make ships turn away from going under the bridge and instead go around the island." He agreed with the idea, and since they call this the Great Naruto Bridge after me, if you look at what side of the bridge the whirlpool is on, think about my name and see if you can get it. Kakashi chuckled and said, "The spiraling maelstrom of wave and wind. It's on the side where wave country faces wind country. The whirlpool of wave and wind. If that whirlpool does continue to exist, then you would be always remembered." Naruto said, "Yeah, it's like a little personal joke for me, so are we ready to go? I used about half my chakra reserves doing that, but that will be plenty to get Zabuza and Haku if they accepted what was in the scroll I sent them and then be able to return to Konoha." Kakashi nods and motions to leave and said, "You seem happier." As the group began to walk away from Wave, Naruto's smile faded a little and said, "I'm still pissed at Jiraiya and Tsunade, but I've had a chance to calm down some, also with the fact I feel I can trust you three, even though I still have secrets and trust issues. I feel you three treat me as human." Sakura looked down and said, "Naruto, I know I said I was sorry for the way I treated you when we were younger. You didn't deserve it." Naruto smiled and said, "No, I did deserve some of it. I was annoying as hell. I'll admit that. My screaming I was going to be Hokage and asking you out on dates constantly really pissed you off. Especially when you wanted to be with Sasuke like all the other girls." Sakura said, "You really have grown up, Naruto." With a slight smile, Naruto said, "Well, I guess I've had time to come to terms with things. I'm not alone anymore." Sakura said, "So are you and Tsunami going to be together?" Naruto bit his lip and said, "Maybe someday. I helped Tsunami through some personal issues." Kakashi said, "You mean when she was raped?" Causing Naruto to pale and Sasuke and Sakura to look in shock. Sasuke said, "What, she was raped?" Naruto frowned and said, "I guess I wasn't the only one to notice how she reacted when I mentioned what was going on in those warehouses." Kakashi said, "I suspected, but I wasn't for sure." Naruto said, "If you guys can, please don't bring that up again." Tsunami couldn't tell her dad she was raped when he came to Konoha, or tell Inari that she was, because she had been trying to find him when she was captured by some men. She was drowning in her own pain and suffering and couldn't turn to anyone she could trust, so I offered to become the shoulder she could cry on. I know how she felt feeling alone surrounded by people, and I guess that was why we were so close, since we were able to support each other. I felt trapped because I'm afraid of what's going to happen when word about my bloodlines gets out, and she was trapped because of fear of what her family would think. Tsunami, a very lovely woman with a good heart. I wish that I could be with her, but she doesn't deserve the life of being with a ninja, me leaving her all the time on missions and her never knowing if I was coming back home. It's why I made sure to keep my ring on all the time. She's got a chance to start her life again with a new start. She shouldn't have to worry about being tied down with a relationship with me or another child to look after." Sakura said, "You got a big heart, Naruto." Naruto said, "And as a ninja it's probably my biggest weakness also. At least I can take comfort in knowing that I am the Dobi in that regard." With a chuckle, Sakura blinked and said, "You know, that's actually kind of funny, but it makes me kind of depressed. Sasuke was the Rookie of the Year and was basically acted emotionless. Now that I took time to think about it, and you were the Dobi but also the most human, but I was the top kunoichi, so does that mean I was basically emotionless?" Silence was her answer, and she said, guys, hey, answer me, damn it." Naruto said, "I think that rule is backwards for woman, Sakura, since women mature faster than guys." Sakura said, "So you think I'm mature?" Naruto said, "In your own way then, yes." Sakura narrowed her eyes and said, "What do you mean in my own way?" Kakashi thought you had to avoid one exploding tag and set off another, didn't you? Let's see you defuse this one. Naruto looked at Sakura and said, "Every woman is different in her own way. It doesn't matter what you look like, or how big your breast or how skinny you are. What matters is you accept who you are and are happy with it, or if you're not happy then change who you are until you are happy with who you are." As he moved forward till he was right in front of her and said like this, "I know you feel insecure about your forehead, but I think your forehead is beautiful. It makes me want to." As he leaned forward and kissed her forehead, Sakura's face turned beet red as Sasuke gaped and Kakashi dropped his book. Sakura brought her finger together and started to push them together and said in a shy voice, "You really think my forehead's beautiful?" Her answer was another kiss on it from Naruto before he smiled and said, "Now come on, Sakura." Sakura blushed and began to follow Naruto, and Sasuke looked at Kakashi and said, "Did he?" Kakashi said, "Yeah." Sasuke said, "I wonder if I can get him to get rid of the rest of my fangirls." Naruto heard him and said, "That reminds me, Sasuke, Why the hell do you still avoid women? I mean, you've been with one and know the pleasures of the flesh now, so why do you still avoid them? Sasuke said, it's not that I avoid them, it's just my girlfriend would kill me if I went after them. Crickets chirped and all three other members of Team 7 slowly turned their head to Sasuke, and Sakura said, girlfriend? What girlfriend? Naruto said, it's not the hooker back at that town, is it? Sasuke looked away and said, no, it's Hinata. Everyone blinked and blinked again, and Naruto said, Hinata, as in my stalker fangirl Hinata. Sasuke said, yeah, the stalker thing was mostly an act. She's a Hyuga and I'm an Uchiha. Our clans have a rivalry going, and if they found out she and I liked each other, her clan would put that seal on her. It's why she wants to unite her family and get rid of that seal so she could be with me without worrying about her getting that seal. She came up with the idea to act as if she liked you so no one would know we were going out. Naruto said, Sasuke, what do you think she's going to do when she finds out about your friends? Sasuke said, kill you for hiring me, a hooker who took advantage of me while I was drunk. With a smirk. Naruto shrugged and said, oh well, she can take a number, everything will work out in the end. When I reveal what I found out from the mizukage, Hinata will probably thank me and forgive me instead. Sakura, who was shocked hearing Sasuke's words, said, why didn't you ever tell us? Tell me that you had a girlfriend. Sasuke looked at Sakura and said, if I told you I had a girlfriend, Sakura, then you and all those others who stalked me constantly would have tried to find out who she was, and then the entire village would hear about it, and that would put Hinata in danger of being killed or tortured for the rest of her life. The only reason I am even telling you this now is I trust you 3, Kami. I can't believe I said that, but it's true, I actually trust you 3, Kakashi said. Well, I'm glad to see our team has bonded so well, but I think we should get going. So where are we going to meet Zabuza and Haku? Naruto said, you will see. As he jumped into the trees. 2 hours later the group made it to Siligan village. Kakashi said, is this where we are to meet Zabuza? Naruto said, yeah, come on. As they made it to the bank and Naruto entered the bank, and short man walked up and said, can I help you? Naruto looked around and said, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The man said, oh, I'm sorry Mr. Namikaze, please go on into the manager office. As he motioned for a door, Naruto nods and said, your skills are pretty good, Haku. The man was covered in smoke and said, thank you Naruto-kun. Zabuza-sama is waiting for you in the office. Naruto nods and said, ladies first. Haku giggles as she walked over and opened the door and walked in, and Naruto followed with the rest of Team 7, and Zabuza was sitting in the corner and said, hey brat, took your time getting here. Naruto said, sorry, had to make sure the mizukage didn't have anyone watching us. I may be a censor, but she knows that and could have had someone spying from outside my range. So what do you think? Zabuza said, I'll agree to meet her. I know her and Chojuro and they are usually pretty honest. I'll wait to make a decision to rejoin until then. Naruto nods and said, so where are the girls at? Zabuza said, the Sannin sent order for them to go somewhere else. They gave me that scroll on the table for you. I've been acting as the president of the bank and Haku as a teller while they were gone. Naruto walked over and read the scroll and said, I see. Did they have any problem with you being here? Zabuza said, no, that scroll you wrote me to give to them seemed to reduce some of their worry. They had me and Haku wear henges while here with Haku as a teller and me security until they got that message a couple of days ago. Naruto said, are you going to keep running or you want to keep a low profile? Zabuza said, probably keep a low profile for now. Why? Naruto said, well, in that case, if you want, the girls won't be back for about 2 months. They left all the titles here and I need someone I can trust to watch over my business here. I can hire you both to just do what you've been doing and you can take 10% out of my share for yourself. I may not be rich as Gato, but at least it will be enough to support you until you can meet the mizukage during the Chunin exams, and I can send word back here once things are safe in Konoha for you. Zabuza said, yeah, that will work, but I want to know something. Why did you do it? Why put your neck on the line like you did and replace us? Naruto said, you earn my respect. You may say one thing but your actions prove another. You treat Haku here like a tool, but when I had her dead to rights in our fight, you had a choice to leave her and let her die or save her, and you saved her. I know people see ninja as tools to be used and thrown away, but like I told you, what's the use of winning at all cost when you have no one to go back to because you cost them their life? You could have killed me after I passed out when you took my arm. I still owe you another ass kicking for that, by the way, but I think during our fight I earned you respect, which is why you defended me against Gato. Zabuza frowned behind his bandages and said, yeah kid, you did. You stood toe-to-toe with me. If it was just a one-on-one fight, I honestly don't know which of us would have won that fight. Haku was the deciding factor in that fight. Kid, you ever need someone to watch your back, send for me. Anyone who can face death like you and willing to stand up for something like you did is someone I would be honored to fight beside. As he stood up and offered his hand, Naruto walked forward and shook hands and said same to you, no brows. Take care of him, Haku. Haku said I'll try. Naruto said well come on guys. I got to go see the old hag. As he walked out, Zabuza said Sharingan Kakashi. Catching Kakashi's attention, who looked at Zabuza. Zabuza said watch out for him. I don't give respect often. Anything happens to him, I'll come for you. Kakashi's sweat dropped and said I'll keep that in mind. As he walked out. After he got outside, Kakashi shook his head and said you have a strange effect on people, Naruto. Naruto said I guess, so you wanna say hi to your lady friend while we are here, Sasuke? With a smirk. Sasuke said I'll hurt you Dobi if you don't shut up about that. Naruto said relax team. It's karma paying you back for being an ass so long, so you actually tried the alcohol idea. Sasuke glared and said that is none of your business. Naruto laughed and Kakashi said you seem to be pretty relaxed about Zabuza not joining us. Why was that? I thought for sure you would have begged him to come. Naruto said Inoiki. Sakura said Mr. Yamanaka, what about him? Naruto said the scroll back there said that Inoiki and both his teammates are in the area. They are asking around about me but not officially, clan business. I have a feeling I know what it's about and if I'm right having Zabuza and Haku with us would be a bad idea. Sasuke said something you haven't told us. Naruto said there is a lot I haven't told you team. This just happens to be related to one of them. The group traveled for 20 minutes after that in silence before Naruto said guys, we're being followed. All three other members of Team 7 tensed and Kakashi said how many and where. Naruto was silent a moment and said there's three of them, I think it's Inoiki and his teammates. Kakashi said is whatever it is they are asking about you for something that could endanger the team. Naruto said team, no. Me, yes. Sasuke said I'm starting to see a pattern in these surprises Naruto. Naruto laughed and Kakashi said well let's keep going normal until they decide to do something but stay alert just in case. 10 minutes later Naruto said so, any of you know what guys are supposed to do when they are going to be a father? As he continued to walk. Sakura asked what do you mean, are you going to be a dad Naruto? Naruto was silent a few moments and said I don't trust Konoha. When I heard about my bloodlines and what they could do I became scared of what will happen. I could see them turning me into breeding stock, turning my children into weapons, and countless other things I don't want to think about. I honestly decided I was never going to have a child with anyone in Konoha unless it was a political thing where if I had a political marriage with someone then the child would be protected, so I decided I was going to look for couples who couldn't have children or women who would be good mothers and could take care of a child but didn't have a husband and lover or didn't want one. I would be a donor to allow them to have a child to ensure my bloodline didn't die out since I knew my family's enemies would target my children also. I met someone who fell in that category. I didn't know a lot about her but I told her about myself some, not a lot and she didn't know where I was from or who I was since I was without my high 8. Turns out Kami's a bitch and she turned out to be Tsunade apprentice. I thought odds are I would never see her again but now I have to deal with Tsunade without destroying the bridge between me and her apprentice because there's no way I can deny being the father since I've always wanted a family, plus I got to somehow tell Ino about it. Sakura said damn, you just can't win for losing huh, so what's the deal with you and Ino, really? Naruto said truthfully, she's my slave. Several sets of eyes popped out and looked at Naruto in shock as he turned to look at his team. Sasuke said I must have heard you wrong, did you say Ino is your slave? Naruto said yeah, it's a long story and the funny thing is, Inoiki doesn't know and he's basically paying me to do whatever the hell I want to her. Kakashi said you dead, you know that right? Inoiki going to mind rape you and then kill you? Naruto said no, once he finds out the truth I think he will actually be grateful for it. Sakura said I don't see how he could be grateful that you have Ino as a slave. Naruto said simple, because if I didn't Ino would have killed herself. If you want proof you can enter my mind for yourself Inoiki. As he looked to the left toward the woods. A very pissed off looking Inoiki landed on the ground and said give me one reason I shouldn't kill you right now. Naruto said because I spoke the truth. Enter my mind and see the first time Ino entered it and see what happened from that point on with us. Inoiki said and how do I know this isn't some kind of trap? Naruto said why do people fall? Inoiki blinked and said what are you talking about? Quit avoiding the question. Naruto said I'm not avoiding it. The answer to my question is the answer as to why Ino asked to be my slave and the answer to why she was ready to kill herself. People fall so that they learn to get back up. Every time in Ino's life she fell she was never allowed to get back up on her own. Others picked her up and made it where she couldn't fall again. The time she broke a bone when she fell out of the tree you had Choji and Shikamaru start after that go over and be ready to catch her so she wouldn't fall again and eventually she just gave up climbing. When she tried to burn your kitchen down so you would punish her you told her it was an accident and you wouldn't let her cook again. When she demanded a $1,000 dress she never actually wore, you gave in and got it for her instead of letting her learn she can't have what she wants. Every time she tried to fall, you and everyone else would pick her back up and put her on a pedestal like a good little princess that you look at but don't touch. She told me she was numb inside, that everyone acts like they love her, but how can she know what love is when she never been allowed to feel the pain of not being loved, of being hurt? How can she truly live if she's just a trophy in a display case? Ino entered my mind and somehow I was pulled in and found her before she could see any of my memories. Unlike everyone else, I didn't let her go or tell her it's okay. I caught her and I yelled at her and I punished her. I made her clean an abandoned apartment while telling her about my friend who died when the council member's daughter sold out her 3 relatives on a mission. You know who I am speaking about. I told her that if she didn't grow up she would be just like that girl. Somehow I got through to her. I gave her the wake-up call she needed her entire life and let her experience her first fall. When she learned to get back up, I gave her that purple dress. How often does she wear it? And how often does she wear that $1,000 dress you bought her? Which does she care more for and why? She cares more for me than you and the entire village because I let her fall and learn to get back up. She offered to give up her ninja career, her clan name, her innocence, everything. Just as long as I treat her as a servant, a slave. I'm the one who's got her training to protect herself instead of a fangirl. I'm the one who got her to start taking her duties more serious. I haven't ever abused the power I have. I may have spanked her when she tests to see if I will keep my word, but I not taken advantage of her. Anyone else could have had her be a sex toy or broke her, but I'm actually helping her be human. Ironic, the demon teaching a princess to be human. Now if you will excuse me, but we need to return to Konoha. I'll let Ino know I told you, and if you want to speak to her, fine. She is your daughter, but if it came to a choice she would choose me over you any day simply because I don't treat her as a glass doll. Come on team. Inoiki and his 2 drinking buddies need time to think over what they just heard since they are realizing they made a mistake. Luckily I'm not like Orochimaru. Ino would have made the perfect spy for him, having been conditioned all her life as she has. As he began to walk away, he made it 10 feet when a shadow caught him and froze him, and Shikaku said, Inoiki, see if he's telling the truth. See if this is why Ino bitch slapped Tsunade. Suddenly, before anyone could react, Naruto's sword flew into the air and glowed before the entire area was covered in darkness. Then when everyone could see, they could see Naruto training to use Makuten when he was pulled into his mind. Him finding Ino in his mind and then her fleeing. Naruto chase after her and then capturing and screaming at her. Then Naruto torture of Ino and his punishment. Then the next day when Ino threw a kunai at Naruto and confronted him. Him telling her to go to the apartment and clean it. Arriving at the apartment and soaking her with the water balloon. Talking to her about being a bitch and treating others wrong. The confrontation about his former tenant and talking about the night Ino went to the orphanage. Naruto showing her the dress and the book and left her, and then the memories of the clone watching Ino begin to clean after she read the book. They saw as Ino brought lunch and talked to Naruto and hearing her confession and both taking a nap in the sun. Then Naruto seeing Ino dream and how she desired to be treated as a slave. Waking up and acting on the dream and their vows to each other. Then when Naruto rewarded her. Leaving together with Anko, training together, sleeping in the same bed. Then Ino finding him near death after he met Tsunade and returning, him asking her to watch his plant and giving her the key to his apartment. Then there was a flash of light and Naruto blinked as he looked around and saw everyone looking at him. Inoiki rubbed his hands across his face and said, "Release him, Shikaku." The shadow retracted and Inoiki looked at Naruto and glared at him and said, "I should kill you, Naruto, but my father-in-law should have killed me also. Ino is her mother's daughter." Kuza, who walked out of the tree, said, "I'll say, why didn't she ever talk to us about her feeling that way?" Naruto said, "Because you saw her for what you wanted to see her as, just as the people of Konoha see me as QB, you saw her as a princess that needed protecting. You heard her own words and confession. I know you're probably pissed at the way I first punished her, but she needed that wake-up call." Inoiki pinched his nose and said, "Yes, you're right, all these years we really were picking her up and not letting her fall. So what are your plans for my daughter?" Naruto said, "Depends." Inoiki glared and said, "Depends on what?" Naruto walked over and grabbed Desire and slipped her back on his back and said, "It depends on her, really. Saying she's okay with something and actually being okay with it are 2 different things. She will either accept me being with others like I told her and she claimed she didn't care about, or she will care and feel I betrayed her. If it's the first, you might as well start thinking of me as a son-in-law, but don't worry, it will be several years before you become a grandpa." As he rubbed his head trying to lighten the mood, Inoiki unleashed a little ki and said, "And if she doesn't accept you being with others," Naruto said, "A fall's a fall. She'll experience heartache and betrayal and will make her want to be loved to forget those feelings and return to the ones she felt protected by before, meaning she will return back to you to try and ease the pain." Either way she will grow loved and cared for. I may punish her when she purposely does something wrong to see if I keep my word, but I will never actually hurt her because I do care for her and want to see her happy. But I also want to see her live." Inoki said, "How did you get so wise?" Naruto said, "With time knowledge becomes wisdom. As I learn more as I get older I gain wisdom." Shikaku said, "How did you do that? Show us your memories." Naruto frowned a moment and said, "I rather keep that a secret." Inoki said, "How about you entering Ino dream?" Naruto said, "Again a secret." Konoha said, "And the sword?" Naruto said, "It's a..." Shikaku said, "Secret, troublesome." Naruto asked, "So Ino slapped Tsunade?" Inoki said, "Yeah. A couple of days ago her team entered Tsunade's office and Tsunade was in a bad mood and mentioned something to Ino about you and Ino slapped her. Right now she's been suspended from her duties as a ninja and is on lockdown at your apartment building. We came out here to find out what set her off since both her and Tsunade refused to speak about it." Naruto sighed and said, "I'll deal with it when I get back to Konoha and get Ino off suspension." Inoki said, "Why did Ino slap her though?" Naruto said, "Remember my injuries where I nearly died? Tsunade did that to me. As you saw, I can use Makuten. I'm the great-grandson of the Shodan Hokage. However, all the proof I had of that claim was in a scroll I gave to Tsunade, who instead of looking at it punched me through 6 trees, burnt the scroll and then kicked me in the face while I was bleeding to death pinned under that tree. It's really a clan matter that is getting Konoha involved, but I'll get it sorted out when we get back. If you don't mind, give me a couple of days and I'll have Ino come talk to you about her feelings and about her being my slave." "Damn, I need a drink." Kakashi said, "How about some of that ambrosia?" Naruto glared at him and said, "No, and hell no." "So, do I need to worry about having my mind destroyed, body crushed, or compelled to jump off the Hokage monument? I'll survive that one, by the way." "Done it twice already," Sakura said. "You jumped off the Hokage monument?" In a shocked voice. Naruto said, "Jumped, thrown, same difference when you hit the bottom. Hurts like hell." Inoki frowned and said, "I'm not paying for Ino staying with you anymore." Naruto said, "Yeah, you will. I'm not going public with my relationship with Ino yet. Not until she can defend herself. Should Iwa try something, since they know I'm the Yondaime son now and already send a team after me. Also, you might want to get a heads up. The Hyuga clan are going to be extremely pissed when I inform them that not only does the Hidden Mist village have a set of their eyes, but they also got 60 children with the Hyuga bloodline as well, thanks to Danzo." Everyone but Kakashi and Naruto eyes widened as they heard this, and Shikaku said, "Are you sure?" Naruto said, "I got a scroll from the Godime Mizukage on me for the council and the Hokage. She will be coming for the Chunin exams to possibly have Momochi Zabuza join her village since the bloodline civil war is over and the bloodline side won." Shikaku asked, "And how do you know that?" Kakashi said, "Because Zabuza currently working for Naruto." Naruto said, "I also got a possible trade alliance between the Hidden Mist village, Wave Country, and Konoha for the council. We've had a prosperous trip." Kakashi said, "I still can't believe you stole the Godime Mizukage panties she was wearing." Naruto said, "Hey, I'm still taking bets she tries to rape my ass when she comes to Konoha." Kakashi said, "Well, considering you basically beat her at her own game of sexual flirting, I can understand." Inoki said, "You're joking, right?" Naruto pulled out a scroll and opened it before unsealing Maithong and held it up and said, "Nope." Sasuke said, "You have got huge balls, Naruto, to not only steal those but to tell Inoki you're basically screwing his daughter." Naruto shrugged and said, "Men call me a demon and women call me a god. You're one to talk though. I only have to worry about having my mind destroyed. Your girl's dad could do a lot worse." Inoki said, "I don't think I can take much more. Let's just get back to Konoha." Naruto said, "If you don't mind, don't tell anything you've seen or heard. I need Tsunade still to be unsure if I am really her cousin or not for my plan to work." Inoki said, "If you hurt my daughter, I'll do more than destroy your mind. I'll make you compost for my flowers." Naruto gave him a smirk and said, "I said it before, I'll welcome death's embrace when I die." Kakashi thought, "Of course you do. You're going to meet your parents." The group took to the trees after that, and the 3 clan heads were surprised that Team 7 was able to keep up with them at Chunin speed. 2 hours later, the village of Konoha was seen coming in the distance, and Naruto jumped from the trees and landed on the ground and stopped. Everyone heard or saw him go to the ground and then stop, and they each pulled up on Thea running, and Kakashi asked, "What's wrong, Naruto?" Naruto looked at the 3 clan heads and said, "Do you 3 need to go see Tsunade for anything since you were out of the village?" Konoha said, "No, since we are the heads of our clans and claimed we were out of the village for clan business, we don't have to report to her." "Why?" Naruto took a deep breath and pulled out his deck of cards and faced one toward him and tossed it to Kakashi after the image appeared and said, "Wait an hour and then check into the village. I'm going to sneak in and speak to Tsunade before you guys do so that way we can get our family business taken care of before you arrive. Okay, Kakashi said. You're not going to kill her, are you? Naruto said no, but just give me a dower. As he disappeared, shocking the three clan heads. Kakashi sighed and walked over to a tree and sat down, pulling out his Icha Icha Paradise book, and Inoiki said, "What are you doing, Kakashi?" Kakashi said, "Waiting an hour like he requested." All three clan heads looked confused as Sasuke and Sakura both took a seat under a tree, and Shikaku said, "You're just going to listen to him, just like that?" Kakashi looked up and said, "When was the last time Jiraiya came to Konoha?" Inoiki said, "I believe when Tsunade took over as God Dime." "Why?" Sasuke snorts and said, "He's a coward after what happened back in Wave, huh?" Kakashi said, "Perhaps." Kuza asked what happened back in Wave. Kakashi said, "We basically all four became missing nins by refusing to follow Tsunade and Jiraiya orders. It's a good thing we did though. We got some serious intel to several threats to Konoha thanks to that." Inoiki asked what kind of intel. Kakashi said Orochimaru has started his own village over in Rice Field Country called the Hidden Sound Village, made up completely of missing nin. He was buying people for his experiments and sacrifices from Gato, who we assassinated, and freed nearly 100 victims of a slave ring that Gato was running, along with the fact Gato had the feudal lord of Wave killed. Shikaku whistled and said, "Now that is some intel. How did you get it?" All three members of Team 7 looked at each other and said at the same time, "Naruto." Tsunade was signing her paperwork when a voice said, "Hello, bitch," startling Tsunade, who looked around the room and bit her lip, trying to break any genjutsu. The voice said, "What's wrong? Getting blind in your old age?" Tsunade growled and said, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" The papers flew off her desk and the voice said, "I'm someone who is deciding if I should kill you or not for being such a disgrace, or if I should see if your reputation as the legendary sucker is real." Tsunade said, "Why don't you show yourself, coward?" Laughter could be heard and the voice said, "Coward, this coming from a woman who attacks a simple genin with a sucker punch because she knows she couldn't stand up to him in a real fight." Tsunade pursed her lips and said, "Who are you? How did you get in here?" A chuckle was heard and the voice said, "Didn't Jiraiya tell you about me?" "Oh, that's right, he only was interested in doing a favor for you in exchange for getting a blowjob or maybe some skanky old pussy from you." Tsunade clenched her fist and jumped away as something hard slapped her across her ass, and she looked around the room as she backed up to the wall and said, "Anbu." Chuckling could be heard and the voice said, "Sorry, I put up a privacy jutsu to keep from others hearing. I don't want Shizune coming in here in her condition." Tsunade eyes widened slightly and said in an unsure voice, "Naruto." Naruto voice said, "I see your brain finally figured it out and it only took 7 minutes. I guess all those brain cells you lost because of drinking too much are catching up with you." Tsunade frowned and said, "I know it's you, Naruto. Show yourself." Naruto said, "No." Tsunade said, "I order you to." Laughter was heard again and Naruto said, "Sorry, if Jiraiya had the balls to come back here then he would have told you I basically declared myself a missing nin so I don't follow your orders." Tsunade paled as she heard this and said, "You're lying." Naruto aid, "Why should I lie? Why would I want to follow orders from a woman who tried to kill me when I was delivering a scroll from your cousin asking for your help?" Tsunade blinked and said, "My cousin? But aren't you my cousin?" Naruto said, "And what would make you think that I was your cousin? I know I have 2 bloodlines and I told Shizune about one of them, but I never said my second one was Makuten like your cousin is, and I know the Sandaime won't tell you because it's clan business. The only ones who know who your cousin is for sure is your cousin, the Sandaime, and me." As he stayed invisible. Tsunade frowned and said, "Then who is he?" Naruto said to her, "You really don't know for sure. Gigi and I have made sure you don't even know the gender, much less what he or she looks like after what you did to me." Tsunade said, "Look, I'm sorry." Chuckling could be heard again and Naruto said, "You're right about that, you are sorry. You are a sorry excuse for a kunoichi, a sorry excuse for a ninja of Konoha, a sorry excuse of a woman, a sorry excuse as a person, and a sorry excuse for a cage." Tsunade growled, "Who the hell do you think you are?" Naruto said, "Who the hell do you think you are? One of 3 ninja who sucked so bad an old man who you couldn't defeat gave you a name signifying you as the 3 legendary losers. You each went on to make your name mean even something greater, the legendary pervert who has to peek on woman because he's a 50-year-old virgin. A legendary pedophile who likes to play with little boys, and the legendary sucker who is said to be able to give a blowjob so good she can get any guy off in less than a minute and not miss a drop." Tsunade flinched as the words the Sandaime told her bounced back in her head and Naruto said, "Why don't you just leave, you old hag? I mean, the only reason you're here in the first place is because Koharu and Homaru agreed to do anything to get you to return, and they gave you 1/3 Konoha treasury, blood money that was paid for by your fiancé, brother, and the rest of your family, Also little Tsunade could go find another guy to blow and gamble her life away. I know the only reason you're actually Hokage is because the Sandaime bitch slapped you and threatened to kill you for being a traitor. I see you for who you are. Your family would think of you as a disgrace. Tsunade had tears flowing down her face now, and Naruto sighed and said, the truth hurts, doesn't it? Tsunade remained silent as she looked lost, and Naruto said, now you know how your cousin feels. To know that the person who was thought could make their life better would go so far as to destroy all the proof that you were both related as well as attempt to kill them as anger. I bet you don't even remember what you said to Shizune the day before. Tsunade said, no, I don't. I wish I did. Naruto said, you told Shizune she was an old maid who's too ugly to even get a man to look at and will never know the joys of being a woman. You said the only reason she follow you was because men are always trying to get with you and that Shizune was hoping that one of them will be so desperate to get laid and would feel sorry for her. A woman who gave up everything she knew at the age of 13 and followed you all these years, and you had the nerve to say that to her. Tsunade fell to her knees crying, and Naruto sighed and said, you have a lot to make up for, Tsunade. Right now you're not a Hokage in my eyes. A Hokage is someone who is willing to sacrifice everything to protect what is special to them. You're only the Hokage because you were paid to come back and because you were scared you would die if you didn't, but you have time, you have a chance to change and to fix your mistakes. Tsunade looked up and said, how? With a little hope in her voice. Naruto said, you want to meet your cousin, right? Tsunade said, yes. Naruto said, then you're going to first draw up some papers. These papers will have it where when your cousin becomes an adult by civilian and ninja status that he or she will become the clan head of your clan. Your clan name will then be changed to your cousin name and all rights and properties of your clan will be signed over to your cousin. Tsunade said, what? But why? Naruto said, because it's going to take time for you to earn your cousin's trust. You're going to have to show you're willing to swallow your pride to get him or her to meet you. It will also make it where he or she will be responsible for the future of a clan that will be dominated by your cousin since you are unable to have children at your age. It will also protect your cousin should something happen to you so that he or she won't be turned into breeding stock for his or her bloodline. Tsunade frowned and said, very well. Naruto said, you will also call a council meeting in an hour. I will take the scroll you drawed up and take it to the Sandaime who will sign it as a witness making it legal, and then at the council meeting your cousin will reveal his or herself. Tsunade bit her lip and said, all right. Naruto said, not so fast. As he saw Tsunade reach for some scrolls. Tsunade frowned and said, what? Naruto said, I'm not doing this for free. You owe me for nearly costing me my life and a finder's fee for helping you and your cousin meet. Tsunade thinned her lips and asked, what do you want? Naruto said, first I want Ino reinstated with her team and all charges against her dropped, and you will not try and get revenge another way against her. I don't know all the details, but Ino and Anko found me after you left me for dead and she cares for me. Seeing the person you care for dying is a pain you should know well, Tsunade, so you can understand the pain she must have felt being helpless to save me when they found me nearly dead. Tsunade flinched as the memories of her loved ones hit her and she said quietly, done. Naruto said, that is only the first thing I want. I assume that you know who my parents were. Iwa already knows who I am as they already sent a team to kill me, so there is no use hiding it. I want my father's name and I want the truth about who I really am along with the real truth about the Kyuubi revealed first to the council and then to the entire village as well as who my family was. If you don't know the real truth, then ask the Sandaime to tell the truth during the meeting. I want Sannin travel rights and I also want it where my bloodlines are protected and me or my past, present, or future family can't become breeding stock. I want any rights Jiraiya has as my godfather revoked and any possession or jutsu that belong to either parent or family turned over to me. I want all possession or jutsu that I own to be protected from the Hokage and the council. Tsunade said, so you're basically wanting clan rights as well. Naruto said, if I get clan rights I want the right to remove my family from Konoha if we don't like it here, because I do not want those idiots who see me as the Kyuubi to target my children or lovers. If they do, I want the right to leave this village without having hunter nins come after me or my loved ones. Tsunade thought a moment and said, very well. Anything else? Naruto said, yes, I want all charges past and present up through today for anything that might be a crime for me or my teammates completely cleared. We did disobey your orders to return, but there was a lot going on in Wave that Konoha needs to know, so that is mostly why I want that, so if anyone finds out we didn't return like we should have, they can't have us suspended or killed, as well as removing our so-called missing nin status. Tsunade said, I have a problem with that one. You need punished for it. Naruto said, Orochimaru. Tsunade frowned and said, what about him? Naruto said, what if I told you we know where he is and what he is up to? Would that be of interest to you? Tsunade said, yes. Naruto said, what if I told you we also have 2 possible trade alliance for Konoha as well as military info on 2 hidden villages as well as a slave ring? Also information on a Konoha bloodline now in the hands of another village thanks to Danzo. Would that be enough information to have my team's actions excused, since if we didn't do what we did then we wouldn't have what we have? Tsunade said, I'm sure Jiraiya will inform me of this. Naruto chuckled and said, after I busted his balls about the fact he never set eyes on me till that day and wave in my entire life, he told Kakashi-sensei we were his responsibilities and left to go peek on woman since I wouldn't come back and he couldn't get a blowjob or pussy from you without me. Tsunade scowled and said, I see. Is there anything else? Naruto said, yes, I want Anko to train with me when she wants to, unrestricted. Tsunade said, why? Naruto said, that is my business. So do we have an agreement? Tsunade was silent for several minutes and said, very well. Naruto said, good, then draw up the contracts and I'll wait for Team 7 so they can come to the council meeting also, and then I will go see Gigi about getting those documents signed and meet your cousin. Tsunade frowned and began to write down on several documents, and 15 minutes later she said, done. Naruto said, set them on the desk. I don't want to take the chance you double-cross me since I don't trust you yet either. Tsunade did, and Naruto grabbed them and the documents disappeared from sight, and he said, bring Shizune to the meeting but tell her to please keep us a secret for now. Before the door opened and closed, Tsunade thought, how did he do that? The Sandaime was in his clan house when he tensed and said, who are you? Naruto appeared and the Sandaime said, don't sneak up like that, Naruto. I almost attacked you. What are you doing here? Naruto said, I got a couple of scrolls I need you to look at quickly and make sure Tsunade didn't write them up wrong. Also I need this in a hurry since we got a council meeting soon. The Sandaime said, a meeting? What about? Naruto said, I think it's best you wait until hearing it at the meeting. It's important though, very important. The Sandaime read the scrolls Naruto gave him and chuckled and said, very clever, Naruto. I only see one or two minor loopholes I fixed for you, but it appeared she was being honest with you, so are you going to forgive her? Naruto said, after today most of our problems will be taken care of, but dealing with what my team learned is more important right now. A knock on the door caught the Sandaime's attention and he said, come in. A Nanbu in a bird mask came in and said, sorry to disturb you sir, but there is a council meeting at 2:30. The Sandaime said, thank you. I'll be there. As he saw Naruto had disappeared. After the Anbu left, the Sandaime said, playing hide and seek, huh? Naruto said something like that. My team should be at the gates in about 5 minutes, so I need to meet them and take them to the council meeting. Are they done? The Sandaime said yes. Naruto said, oh, before I forget, you will probably have to tell the real truth about Kyuubi and me. Iwa already knows who I am, so there's no use hiding it. The Sandaime who handed Naruto the scrolls said, I see. Are you sure? Naruto said, yeah. It's time to face my demons. The Sandaime said, very well. I'll see you at the meeting then, Naruto. Naruto smiled and said, thanks Gigi, I'll have a present for you after the meeting. As he disappeared again and left. When Naruto saw his team arriving at the gates and he got beside Kakashi and said softly, stop the card Kakashi. I'm back, Kakashi said, got everything done. As the real Naruto appeared just behind the fake Naruto, and Naruto grabbed the card after the fake disappeared and said, yeah. Sasuke said, so, did you get everything worked out? Naruto said, we got a council meeting at 2:30 we have to go to. Also Sasuke, I need to know, do you trust me? Sasuke said, of course I do Dobi, didn't we already go over that? Naruto said, good. Then I need you to trust me and not get angry or reveal anything until I am finished with what I got planned. You will thank me later, but at first you will be angry with me. Sasuke frowned and said, why do I think this is going to be one of those things I hate the most? Naruto said, probably. Hey you guys, guard duty again. As they actually stopped at the gates. Kotetsu said, hey Naruto, you're finally back. You need to watch out. For some reason Tsunade pissed at you. Naruto said, I know. We got to head to the council for a meeting, so I'll deal with her there. Can we go ahead and enter? Kotetsu said, sure. Good luck. As they entered, Naruto looked at Sakura and said, you okay Sakura? You've been quiet ever since you heard about me and Ino. Sakura looked down and said, I don't know Naruto. When I heard what you called Ino, I immediately thought of all the bad things someone in that position faces, but when I saw those memories of what really happened and listened to yours and her words, I can't help but reflect on my own life. Naruto said, boyfriend and girlfriends, husbands and wives, servants and masters, all these are just titles people use to classify the relationship others share. Look at us. Team, friends, comrades, again, just titles. They don't mean anything really, it's the bond they represent that actually defines them. Sakura smiled slightly and said, maybe I should become a servant. Naruto said, maybe you should be friends first Sakura, you need to know who you are first before you can figure out what you can be. Talk to Ino as a friend before you ever decide to think of something like that, and no, not everyone is as kind as I am. Kakashi said, I honestly feel like the fifth wheel on this team. Naruto said, sometimes you are, but you are a member anyways. Well damn, we must have gotten quicker than I thought. There's the council building and it appears everyone is moving in. As he saw several well-dressed figures walking in, Kakashi said, so what are we doing exactly? Naruto said, you're mostly just going to stand there, look pretty, and keep your mouth shut. Unless asked a question of course. Sasuke said, so this is going to be just like Wave then. Works for me. Sakura said, and me, somehow, I feel Kami on our side. Naruto said, probably more than you know, Sakura, but she's still a bitch. Kakashi sweat drop and thought, Kami, please don't kill me for your grandson actions and words. I'll try and get him to change. As the group walked to the building and in the hall, a Chunin stepped forward in front of Naruto glaring hatefully and said, what are you doing here? Naruto smiled and said, I'm being court-martialed for insubordination and will most likely be killed since my team thinks I've lost my mind. What was that, master? Oh yes, Kyuubi-sama said we need to hurry because he wants his freedom when I die. All hail Kyuubi-sama, all hail Kyuubi-sama. The Chunin looked paler than Orochimaru and had pissed his pants, and Naruto grabbed his stomach and said, no master, it's too early. He's coming. As he looked to be in pain. The Chunin screamed and ran away screaming, Kyuubi escaping. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto all three burst out laughing, and Kakashi said, that was so wrong, Naruto. Naruto shrugged and said, serves him right. Anyways, let's go. As he walked on down the hall. Sasuke said, you seem to know where you're going. Naruto said, I do. I was declared an adult before I ever entered the academy by them, and I had to come for that meeting since they thought if they made me an adult I couldn't be a ninja. Luckily for me, your dad actually screwed them on that one because it would have made your brother lose his ninja license. As he stopped outside a double set of doors and said, now remember, let me speak. All three other members nodded and Naruto knocked on the door and both doors were opened, and Tsunade, who was inside, said, Team 7. Good you're here. Come on in. As she looked at all four members, and Naruto said, remember the jutsu I displayed to you before you couldn't figure out? He's using it. Oh, he wants to know where your clan seat is so he can sit down. As he turned his head to the side like he was listening to someone. Tsunade said, it's over by sensei, but he needs to reveal himself. A snort was heard in the room, shocking most, as the chair beside Sarutobi was pulled out and then pulled closer to the desk, showing someone was in it, but no one could see who it was. Sarutobi bit his lip and said, I presume that the issue of our friend here can wait, Tsunade, as I am sure you have more important reason to call this meeting. Tsunade frowned and said, yes, alright, what is all the information you have that you felt was needed to call this meeting? Team 7, Naruto said, if I may speak for my team. A civilian said, why would we listen to the likes of you? Naruto said, Sandai-sama, perhaps it would be best if you explained to these people who my parents were along with what really happened to the Kyuubi. Sarutobi said, very well, since he was already aware of your parentage it doesn't do any good to hide it, and the real truth about the Kyuubi was going to come out soon anyways. With your permission, Tsunade, may I reveal some information about the figure currently hiding his looks beside me? Tsunade nods and Sarutobi saw Naruto nod slightly, and he said, first, the person beside me is in fact the great-grandson of Hashirama Senju, the Shodaime Hokage. Causing nearly everyone's eyes to widen, though a few shot looks at Naruto. Hiyashi said, another member of the Senju clan. How? I thought Tsunade never had children. Tsunade said, I didn't, I was recently contacted and informed about him. His grandmother was my aunt, the daughter of my grandfather Hashirama. She married and left the village and later was killed, but not before having a son. Sarutobi said that son actually died the night of the Kyuubi attack when he used the Makuten bloodline to send Kyuubi away, just like his grandfather had done many years ago. The Yondaime didn't die from sealing the Kyuubi, he died from a poison kunai that bounced off Kyuubi and hit him on accident. Several murmurs were heard throughout the room, and Tsume said, but how is that possible, sir? We all saw the seal. Naruto said, a special genjutsu seal. Konoha was too weak after the Kyuubi attacks, so what better way to protect Konoha from other villages than to make them think we had a Jinchuriki who could release the Kyuubi? Why else do you think Gigi here told the entire village about the sealing, then told you all not to tell anyone when he could have kept it a secret? It was to make our enemies think it's our worst kept secret, and the plan worked except for one small detail. Almost nobody saw me as the hero my father asked for protecting you by pretending to be the Jinchuriki. A civilian said, but it was the Yondaime that asked that, it can't be. As he looked really good at Naruto. Naruto said, yeah, I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the Yondaime Hokage of Konoha and Kushina Uzumaki. Konoha made my life hell for no reason. Murmurs broke out in the room and someone shouted, it's a lich, I saw the demon healing his body. Chuckling could be heard and everyone turned to Naruto, who said, oh, that's easy to explain. You see, I have two bloodlines and I'd like to demonstrate one of them for you real quick. Naruto pulled out a kunai and set his hand on the ground and drew back, and to the shock of everyone he cut off his thumb. Naruto winced and stood up holding his bleeding hand, and Tsunade screamed, "What are you doing?" Naruto held up his hand and concentrated, and to everyone's shock Naruto's thumb began to grow back, and within 2 minutes he had a brand new thumb. Naruto began to make a fist with his hand and opening it and closing it several times and said, "Still hurts like a bitch." Murmurs broke out in the room and Inoki said, "How did you do that?" Naruto saw everyone get quiet and he said, "My bloodline is from my mother, it's called the Kamishi. It's a chakra-based bloodline. As long as I have chakra in my body I can heal pretty much from anything, and the more I heal the more chakra I make, which is why I have such high chakra reserves. I also become immune to any poison I come in contact with after the first exposure to it, and as you can see I can regenerate from lost limbs. I've actually regrown an arm, a hand and now a finger, along with all the times I had to repair bones in my body. There's a few more things about it but I rather keep it a secret." A civilian said, "We should have him reproduce that bloodline. It could make Konoha." Everyone in the room froze as ki started coming off Naruto. Naruto, who had closed his eyes, said, "I think you should know a few things first. Before I came here I had a meeting with Tsunade. In exchange for helping to reunite her with her second cousin and her learning the truth about the Kyuubi attack, my heritage, and a few other things including learning I have two bloodlines, she agreed to a few demands I had. One such demand was clan status, so the Namikaze clan is now an official clan. She also gave me Sanin travel rights and the right to pick up my clan and all present and future members and leave should Konoha continue its actions against me because of their ignorance. But she gave me one other thing she didn't quite realize the full extent of that she gave me full immunity for all crimes past and present through today, so for the slow idiots I am sure some of you are, if I decide to kill you and everyone in Konoha for all the shit you put me through with all the years of abuse and hatred and the isolation and the fact you think you can turn me into breeding stock, you know, killing them doesn't sound like a bad idea the more I think about it. I also got the same rights for Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. Sasuke hates Konoha because he knows Danzo, a member of this council, was involved in the Uchiha massacre and either did it with his root and framed Itachi or aided Itachi in doing it, so the fact none of you realized that could give him a reason to hate you. What do you say? Feel like a little revenge avenger? Sasuke said, "Sounds like fun." Naruto looked at Sakura and said, "You heard Sasuke, as his loyal fangirl you want in." As he winked at her. Sakura, realizing it's a prank, said, "Oh Sasuke-kun, I'll help you any ways I can." Naruto looked at Kakashi and said, "What about you? Get revenge for the way people treated you because of your dad?" Kakashi said, At this several members began to sweat and Naruto shrugged and said, "I'll just kill them later. I'll wait to see what they do after today. I don't really need permission to kill them." He looked forward and saw several people pale. Naruto said, "Anyways, since I'm protected by clan rights now, what were you going to say about turning me into breeding stock? Just remember the council and the Hokage has no power over clan affairs, isn't that right, Hyuga-san?" Hiyashi bristled as the sand part but said yes. Naruto said, "Yeah, that reminds me, is there any way I can speak to you privately for about 5 minutes? I think a couple of people in this room need to change their shorts since it smells like piss and shit in here. Do you mind taking about a 5-minute recess, Tsunade?" Tsunade said, "No, I believe we all could use it after hearing the shocker we all just did. We will continue in 15 minutes from now." Dismissed. As everyone began to leave the room, Naruto walked over to Hiyashi, who was still sitting, and Naruto looked left and right and said, "Look, let's skip the formality for a few minutes because some of the info my team discovered on our last mission could really screw you and your clan over." Hiyashi said, "I doubt that." Naruto said, "Really? So you're willing to take a chance at a repeat of the Cloud incident once the info I have becomes public?" Hiyashi became serious and said, "I do not like what you are implying." Naruto said, "All branch members of your clan are under the direct control of the main family, correct?" Hiyashi remained silent and Naruto said, "Have any branch members became missing nins in the last 20 years? Hiyashi said, "Never." Naruto frowned and said, "Damn, I was hoping you would say yes. That means the only way this clusterfuck could have happened is if members of the main branch were involved. If you don't know about the fact that there were branch members of your clan working for Danzo en route." That caught Hiyashi full attention and said, "What do you mean?" Naruto said, "Let's put it this way. Because of Danzo and whoever in your clan was working with him to hide the fact branch members were working en route, the Hyuga bloodline has not only been compromised by another village gaining the eyes of said branch member but also was able to start a breeding program that has over 50 children alive with your bloodline in that village and more appearing every day." Hiyashi said, "That's impossible." Naruto said, "Sorry, I saw a working transplanted Hyuga along with my sensei and heard the story of how they obtained it from the leader of the village that now has it. The problem is what to do about it, because if the story comes out, you and your clan are going to look like traitors to Konoha because of how they got the eye. Of course the only Konohanins who know the real story are Kakashi and me, and Kakashi feels he owes my family too much to say anything, so the story of how they got it can remain a secret, and I sort of know the leader of the village and could convince the leader to not tell anyone in exchange for you not trying to steal the bloodline back, which would cause a war or your clan looking like traitors. The question is what you're willing to sacrifice for my assistance and silence, and what you plan to do afterwards. Hiashi frowned and said, "Can you tell me how this happened?" Naruto said, "Sure, I have more to gain by telling you than keeping it silent, and you can see the situation you are in." The Ondaime Mizukage disappeared from office some time back, and because of the bloodline civil war there were several factions trying to gain power to become the Godime Mizukage. Danzo sent several teams of route to the Hidden Mist to try and take over by killing all who opposed them. They didn't care who they killed. Ninja, civilian, bloodlines, or non-bloodlines. The leader of the bloodline side had her side defend all those who were being attacked by Root, and they killed them all but one, a branch member of your clan. Because of this action, the woman who was the leader of the bloodline side was named Godime Mizukage and ended the bloodline civil war and became the first female Kage. They kept the Hyuga sedated and took his eyes and sperm and used them to create several children. Danzo sent an assassin to kill the Hyuga that sealed his body, but by the time he did, the Hidden Mist had enough sperm to create over 50 children, and 2 ninja of the Hidden Mist have 1 Hyuga each, so you can see, because of Danzo and whoever in your clan that hid the fact your clan had branch members and root, your bloodline has now been passed out in the world, and if you try to stir up trouble over it, then Kumo could try and kidnap one of those children, since I bet the Mizukage didn't tell me the real numbers of Hyuga they have, or they could make an alliance with the Hidden Mist to trade for it. But I might be able to prevent that from happening, since, as I said, I know the Mizukage and we have sort of an arrangement going on the side. In fact, I have a message from her to the Hokage and the council, and she is coming to Konoha for the Chunin exams for business and possibly an alliance. So what do you feel your clan image is worth? With a smirk, Hiashi frowned and said, "What is it you want?" Naruto said, "Now don't feel upset. I think I can actually help you with the problem you have been facing for some time." "How to keep both your daughters from getting sealed?" Hiashi said. "How?" Naruto said, "You and I both know there is no way that a branch member could have been en route without a main branch members being involved. You can reveal that information to them to force them into releasing Hinata from getting the seal, and if you accept both parts of my deal, you could make your other daughter clan heiress while Hinata is moved out of your clan's hands. That way you have a strong heiress and protect both your daughter and keep the secret about how the Hidden Mist got your clan bloodline." Hiashi was silent for several moments and said, "Very well, I'm listening." Naruto said, "I'm not as much of a fool as everyone thinks I am. I know the only way I can actually protect myself and my future clan from the people of this village is to get the help of the existing clans. I want a public statement saying that your clan wishes to thank the Namikaze clan for our service to the village, yada, yada, yeah. I'm sure you could make a speech that would make you smell like roses off that, but the main point of it is that you wish to help show support to my clan by having Hinata join as a member of my clan. That will move her out of your clan hands so they can't seal her, as I refuse to have any member of my clan having a seal without their consent. I already have a servant from another clan who has made a similar agreement, and I might have a third clan who is willing to marry into my clan. By having 3 or more of the clans of Konoha supporting my clan as an ally to my clan, and any action taken against my clan would be considered an action against their clan, I think that would cause most of those who aren't as stupid to accept the truth from doing anything. After all, if they refuse to let my clan shopping in their stores, the loss of several clans would severely hurt them and make them tolerate my clan out of necessity. So what do you say? You get to protect both your daughters and your clan image, ally yourself with a new clan that might help your clan in the future by mixing our bloodlines depending on how things work out, and making it where you can gain more control from the other main branch members by beginning a rat hunt to find the traitor and limiting their power since they have betrayed your clan. Possibly gain enough support to finally get rid of that seal so others don't have to follow the path of your nephew Neji." Hiashi said, "You have given me much to think about." Naruto said, "Yes, but unfortunately you will have to make the decision very soon, because we are fixing to have to give intel on the Mist Village and other things we learned on our last mission, so it comes down to a choice of telling everyone or not. So is it worth it to you to accept my deal? If so, send for Hinata so she can be placed in my clan during this meeting as proof that you keep your end of the deal, and I will have Kakashi and me keep our silent about the Hyuga. Your choice." As he turned and started to walk away, Hiashi frowned and Naruto walked over to his team who had moved by the door, and Sasuke said, "What did you do, Tobi?" Naruto said, "Sasuke, how much does your girl mean to you?" Sasuke looked around and then at Hiashi and frowned as he said, "Why?" Naruto said, "If my plan works I could have her unsealed and married to you by the end of the day, but it will cost you." Sasuke's eyes got wide and asked, "How?" Naruto said don't worry about how. The question is if you are willing to sacrifice for her. Sasuke bit his lip and nods and Naruto said then it will cost you half your clan fortune and half your clan land. You will also become allied to me by marrying a member of my clan. Hinata. Sasuke eyes widened and he frowned and said how is Hinata joining your clan? Naruto shrugged and said I just blackmailed Hiashi. Sasuke and Sakura sputtered and Kakashi dropped his book and Naruto said don't mention anything about the Hyuga bloodline being stolen or how it was stolen Kakashi-sensei, in fact don't mention the Hyuga at all. Kakashi frowned and said alright Naruto but I don't like this. Naruto said I know, but it's for the best. Tsunade said order, is everyone back? Hiashi said I am expecting my daughter Hinata here momentarily Hokage-sama. I sent word for her because I have recently made an agreement to support the Namikaze clan for their years of service of protecting Konoha and I hereby state that any actions directed at members of the Namikaze clan will be considered actions directed at the Hyuga clan as well. I feel that a marriage between the Namikaze clan and the Hyuga clan would be beneficial to Konoha. Several eyes widened and Shizune covered her mouth and Naruto said I believe you have slightly spoke out of context Hyuga-san. The agreement was for Hinata to join my clan, no marry into it. Remember how I spoke about another who is allied with my clan secretly recently. For the moment I do not believe I will be marrying any woman due to the fact I will have to have several women in my clan and I do not want to show favoritism of one over the other. Hiashi looked confused and said but you said another clan was thinking of marrying into your clan. Naruto said oh, I see where you are confused. You see, I have a sort of confession. I guess a little of my pranking humor was revealed today as you remember the little invisible person routine earlier, well, the great-grandson of the Shodaime Hokage. As he flashed through hand signs and slammed his foot on the ground and a chair began to form out of the floor made of wood and Naruto sighed it is me. Hiashi said so you are a senju. Naruto said actually no. Tsunade signed a scroll stating when I become an adult by ninja and civilian standards that I would inherit all Senju clan property and the Senju clan would be renamed after my family name the Namikaze clan since my father was the Yondaime and he used Makuten to stop the Kyuubi and devised the Genjutsu seal to trick our enemies. The member I was referring to possibly be married since I am now the clan head of the Namikaze clan and Tsunade is just a member of the clan I can arrange for her to marry another. Tsunade went pale and red face at the same time and screamed what? Naruto said yeah. You see, I've got a little arrangement with the Uchiha clan to end the rivalry between our clans and Sasuke has agreed to trade me half his clan's wealth which will help to restore our clan's funds as well as half his land and property which I plan to fix up and rent out to help Konoha to prosper as well as make our clan more prosperous and well thought of in the community to help support the future clan. Sasuke been real excited about the prospect ever since I first mentioned it and though I hadn't told him who he was marrying when he allied with my clan he knew about you and since your reputation as the legendary sucker is so well known and your genjutsu makes you so desirable he's liked the idea though we never named names. Tsunade said you can't do that. I forbid it. Naruto said the Hokage and council can't get involved in clan business Tsunade. You should know that already and as Hokage you can't order me not to and since I'm clan head it is well within my rights. This way you can help to restore all those funds you lost over the years gambling and drinking. I know it's sudden but just think, it's for the future members of our clan. Tsunade said you little bastard. I should have killed you when I had a chance. I'll fucking cut off his pecker before I let him touch me. Naruto turned to Sasuke and said she seems like a wild one Sasuke. You sure you can handle her? Before Sasuke had a chance to say anything, the door opened to the room and Naruto saw Hinata enter and she bowed and said in a stutter you wish to see me father. Hiashi said yes. I have recently made an agreement with the Namikaze clan for you to join his clan. You will not be receiving the cage bird seal as part of the agreement that was met and your sister will be taking over as heiress to the clan. Hinata stiffened and said in a stutter as she tried to control herself hi father, but who is the Namikaze clan? Naruto said that would be me Hinata. Hinata froze hearing Naruto's voice when a voice was heard in her head and said don't say anything Hinata. I'm friends with Naruto. I need to know if what Sasuke said true, are you and him secretly dating and your crush on Naruto a fake? Answer honestly and think your answer. Hinata who was shocked thought yes. The voice said then you and Sasuke will be together but you need to play along in the greatest prank ever. Now faint like you usually do. Hinata did just that. Naruto quickly caught her and Sasuke looked at Hinata and heard the voice in his head and said Naruto, I'm not sure I can handle Tsunade, I think she really will cut off my manhood and I need that to restore my clan. I would like to propose a challenge. If I win then I get the right to choose which member of your clan I marry since I am aware of several members you have secretly. If I lose I will still marry Tsunade, but you get the entire Uchiha clan fortune and land, and I will change my name to Namikaze or whatever branch name you would choose for me to have." Shocking everyone in the room. Naruto looked at Sasuke and said, "So let me see if I get this right. You wish to challenge me for the right to pick which member you marry. If you lose, the Uchiha clan will die with your brother and everything you own will belong to me. That is a very risky deal for both of us." "What is this challenge?" Sasuke said. "I know about Hinata's secret crush on you. Hell, I think most of the village does. We all know no matter how big of an idiot you are, she always follows you. I bet I can make Hinata become angry with you and come to me heartbroken and angry at you just by saying 2 sentences. If she does, then I win. If she don't, then you win." Naruto said, "You do know that's a sucker's bet, right? I mean, Hinata liked me for years. What do you think, Hyuga-san? I know both our clans had a rivalry with the Uchiha in the past. If Sasuke fails, then the Uchiha clan will cease to exist in Konoha. I think we should do it. What about you? I ask your opinion." Hiyashi thought for several moments as Hinata began to stir and said, "Very well." Hinata slowly opened her eyes and stuttered out what happened. Sasuke looked at Naruto, who nods, and Sasuke said, "Hinata, Naruto has been flirting with other women and he has the panties of another woman in a scroll he carries with him. He also hired me a prostitute after he got me drunk and she gave me a problem I had to get treated for." Hinata, whose eyes began to water, turned to rage and she screamed, "What?" As she quickly got to her feet with her bloodline activated, and she said, "You are within my range of divination. 8 trigrams, 2 palm, 4 palm, 8 palm, 16 palm, 32 palm, 64 palm strike." As she struck Naruto multiple times, causing him to fly backwards before she turned and fell into Sasuke's arms crying. Naruto coughed a few times and said, "It's always the quiet ones you got to look out for." As he slowly stood up and said, "Damn, that hurt. So looks like you won, team. Who do you want?" Sasuke said, "Hinata." Hiyashi screamed, "What? You can't do that." Naruto frowned and said, "I don't like it either, Hyuga-san, but a deal is a deal. She's still a member of my clan even when she marries Sasuke, so our agreement is still valid. In the end, I guess everyone wins. I got my agreement, you got to protect both your daughters from stealing, and Sasuke got him someone who can look out for those little medical problems for Sasuke." Hinata glared at Naruto and Naruto smirked and thought, "You're both welcome." And both heard him. Naruto stood up and said, "Well, looks like my bloodline heals those also. Damn, that still hurt. So since we got the clan business out of the way, let's get what this meeting was called for done. I'll summarize everything. The feudal lord of Wave Country was assassinated by Gado of Gado Shipping Company, who either had his mercenary do it or ninja from the Hidden Sound Village. The Hidden Sound Village is a village created by Orochimaru and is located in Ricefield Country. As their name suggests, they use sound-based attacks that mess up balance and visual, and Kami knows what else. Gado had several teams of mercenaries under his employment, and we were able to take out a large group of them and assassinate Gado, freeing Wave Country from his control. We were able to capture a sound ninja that Kakashi-sensei was able to interrogate for more info. We also met the goddamn mizukage, who was named Mei Terumi. Like me, she possessed 2 bloodlines. The bloodline civil war in the Land of Water is over, but Konoha was partially responsible for that. Danzo sent Root Ninja to kill everyone they could and try to take over the Hidden Mist Village during the fighting to see who would become the goddamn mizukage. All the Root Ninja he sent are now dead, thanks to the faction that was led by Mei, which gave her the support of the other factions for saving so many from the Root Ninja. She does not blame Konoha though. She will be coming here during the Chunin exams to meet Zabuza Momochi, who is currently employed by my clan as a security guard somewhere, as his missing nin status has been revoked for the time being. I have a scroll from her to the council and the Hokage about a possible trade alliance with Konoha and Wave. Wave Country is currently being led by Tazuna, who was the client Team 7 was sent to protect while he finished the Great Naruto Bridge that now connects Wave Country to Fire Country. There was a separate matter that was discussed between Mei and myself for clan business, and I don't know if she put it in this scroll, and I would like your permission, Tsunade, to see if it is in there, and if it is, I ask that you not read it as we are still in discussion of it. Tsunade frowned and said, "And why should I agree to that since you just tried to basically sell me off?" Naruto said, "Hey, I originally planned to use my invisibility jutsu and a couple of Kagebunshin carrying baseball bats and have them swing for home runs against those jugs you have on your chest. Since I decided against that and the other deal fell through, I still have the right to decide what to do to you to get my revenge. I've got 2 choices I am leaning toward, and depending on if you keep quiet if what I want to remain a secret is in this scroll or not, I will let you choose which of the 2 choices you will accept as punishment for the incident in the woods." Tsunade frowned and said, "You're trying to blackmail me." Naruto said, "Yep. It may be illegal, but you already excused me for it, so you can't do shit. Tsunade said, where did you learn so much about tricks like this? Naruto said, 1/3 of all documents the council sent to the Sun Daime to be either passed or failed was actually decided on by me to help Gigi with the paperwork. I yelled for years I was going to be Hokage. Gigi was already training me for the job. The Sun Daime coughed as several people looked at him shocked and Naruto said, so, I'll give you the two choices you got. I'll either make the same deal with Jiraiya as I was going to make Sasuke, half his fortune in exchange for marrying you, or you will have to serve from now until the Chunin exams in your free time when you are not at the hospital or Hokage Tower as a personal doctor and massage therapist for the Sun Daime and Kakashi-sensei. Oh, and you have to wear one of those naughty nurse outfits that are too small and show off your figure while keeping your Genjutsu up. Several perverted giggles were heard as Kakashi dropped his book and the Sun Daime blew back with a nosebleed and Tsunade screamed, I'm going to kill you. As she jumped to her feet only for two Kagebunshin to appear beside her with baseball bats drawn back, shocking everyone and making Tsunade freeze, and Naruto said, try me. Tsunade took several deep breaths and said, I'll get my revenge, just you wait. I'll get my revenge, Naruto said, maybe, but you will have to do it while taking one or your other punishment, so the question is, what will you take, legendary sucker? The naughty nurse, or the wife of the Ritter of Icha Paradise? I'm sure Jiraiya would love to use you as his inspiration for all his future books. Of course you could just read what's in this scroll regardless of our clan secret, and I'll see if I can't bust those things you call breast and make you flat chest again like Jiraiya used to call you. Tsunade frowned and said, very well, I'll take the naughty nurse only because I'll spend all my time as Hokage and working at the hospital. Naruto said, good, then you will make my clan respectable again. No matter what, I always win. Hiyashi said, you lost earlier. Naruto looked over at Sasuke and Hinata and said, did I? I got everything I wanted. An alliance with both the Hyuga and the Uchiha clan, so now if anyone refuses me service like they have in the past, then they lose the support of both clans, which could bankrupt them, and I might make alliances with other clans or have already that I don't want to mention, which will hurt those who will target my friends and family. I also got rich enough where I have now 1/4 of Konoha properties that I can use, as well as about 5% of all the money in Konoha, plus my trade agreement my clan has with a couple of places in Fire Country outside of Konoha and in Wave Country, so in about 3 years the Namikaze clan will become the third richest clan in Konoha, I figure. Sounds to me like I won. Huh. Everyone thought of his words and realized he was right, which scared some of the ones who were still hateful toward Naruto. In the end, after the scroll was opened and read, it was learned to be just a general notification stating the mizukage was coming to Konoha for the Chunin exams and would like to meet with the Hokage and council during her stay to discuss the future of both villages. The meeting was called and Sasuke and Hinata slipped out quickly. Hiyashi left while looking constipated. Tsunade tried to find Naruto but discovered he was gone, as was Shizune up on the Hokage monument. Naruto took Shizune and Naruto said, sorry about that back there. Shizune smiled slightly and said, it's alright. I understand you were trying to protect the future of your clan, but can you please stop abusing Tsunade-sama as you have? She feels a lot of regret for her actions. Naruto said, yeah. My punishment for her was all dished out today. She will have to deal with her choice for now, but I will try to get to know my cousin. How are you and the baby? Shizune said, I'm doing fine and the baby healthy. What was that with the Hyuga girl? Naruto said, her and Sasuke have been dating secretly for a while now and I decided to help them get together. Most of that was an act to get what I wanted out of Sershian people, since I couldn't trust Tsunade to help deal with the council after what happened. I didn't know you were Tsunade assistant. Shizune smiled and said, it's alright, this has been shocking. Naruto looked over at the village and said, you know, I'm still going to have to be with several women, right? To make sure both my bloodlines continue now that I've revealed them. Shizune said, I know, we thought we never see each other, but I'm glad we did and I'd like to be with you. Naruto said, and I want to be with you also, but we can't just yet. There's one other I care for as much as you who I'm having to keep secret as well. Well, her slapping Tsunade kind of revealed it some. Shizune's eyes widened and said, now her slap makes more sense. Is she? Naruto said, no, I think she's too young for that and our relationship is complicated. I'll tell you about it sometime, but for now I really need to get some sleep. I'm almost out of chakra and all this stress can't be good for you and the baby. Shizu smiled and said, you're right, I need to help Tsunade with the fallout of all that has happened anyways. Can I see you sometime? Naruto said, yeah, but besides you, Ino is the only one I have real feeling for in Konoha. I've flirted with a couple here and there just to throw off suspicion like I suggested, except for a special case, but there is no one else pregnant out there. Shizune kissed him and said, I'll come by sometime to see you. Naruto said, alright, if you miss me and Ino are out, just leave a message with her. I'll get it and come see you. Shizune nods and kisses him again before shining away. Naruto sighed as he began to trip to his place, and when he got there he saw it was a mess, and he walked into his room and saw Ino asleep in his bed, and he walked in and flipped the bed, causing her to scream, and he said, "Get the mess cleaned up and sleep in your apartment tonight as punishment. Go." Ino pouted but slyly smiled and said, "Yes master, welcome back." Naruto said, Yeah, I need sleep. See you tomorrow." And Ino, "If you get done before I fall asleep, if you can find a place in my bed I'll let you stay the night, but it has to be before I fall asleep." Ino's eyes widened and got moving as quickly as possible cleaning it up, and Naruto thought she didn't realize I sent a clone here who spied her messing it up on purpose to get in trouble, damn woman. Before he closed his eyes.
That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.